Good morning, good afternoon, evening, wherever you may be at in the world. I wanted to talk today about values and not just values, prosperity, abundance, but how we value money and what we see in money, how it fits into our life, our energy. This is just one of the most talked about subjects that is all over YouTube, social media. We don't learn money management, nor do we learn the currency of money and that flow of money. Everybody makes and creates their money and attracts money in many different ways, shapes, and forms. But what we learn, a lot of us from childhood, is the lack of money. And we learn to live in that limited mindset. And one of the biggest shifts that we can make is going from a lack to complete abundance, especially if we've never been around somebody who's wealthy, who's rich. We don't know what that state of being looks like. We don't know how to live with that money, what it means in our life, the type of thinking, just like we would not know how to be the world's top chef because there's a certain state of being self-assured. They know what's going on in the kitchen. They know how to bring those ingredients together, but that took years. It wasn't overnight. So just like a chef has to learn to be a top world chef and to have that state of being and embody that, us who want to be extremely abundant need to learn how to be in that state of being. What does it look like? And it looks like something very different for each and every person. Talking about money, at least for me, before healing was a very uncomfortable conversation. In fact, I shied away from it or I left the table. I didn't want to talk about it. It was taboo. Money is a female energy. It flows like a currency, water. It is something that we don't take and grab for. It's something that we receive. It has everything to do with our feelings and emotions and everybody else's feelings and emotions. These people who make millions and billions of dollars each and every year, you know what they learned? They learned how to read the mass public's emotions because it fluctuates. The currencies, the stock market, it is completely emotion driven. People buy things out of emotion, not logic. And when we get money, how do we treat that money? Do we give it away? Do we share it? Do we hoard it? What are we doing with it? So I think there's a lot of different levels in learning about money. But I think the most important thing for you to start turning from being in poverty or a lack of to prosperity and abundance is be comfortable about talking about money. Let the word money really speak to your heart. Let it sing to you because money is female energy. In astrology, Venus rules over money, the natural second house. And what's even more curious is that Venus also rules over the seventh house of Libra, and that's where business transactions happen. They're both linked to prosperity. They're both linked to values, emotions, money, relationships. Do you get the theme here? Second and seventh house in astrology, they're absolutely magical houses. So when we're talking about money, open your heart. Be open to the conversations. Be open to receive it. That's including giving it to yourself. Be open to start saying yes, wherever that money may come from. Is it a penny? Say yes. Is it somebody giving you $1 or a meal? Say yes. Money can come in many shapes, forms, and sizes, but it can come from anywhere. Don't limit where money has to come from. Remember, you have a unique chart. Where does your second house ruler, seventh house ruler stand in your chart? Where does it sit? What house? What are those planets? And how do they connect with Venus? That means you should be open to receive that money. If you're chasing it, you don't have it. It's not about chasing. Stop chasing. You don't have to work for it. You just have to receive it. Put your attention on the value that you give others, the value that you give yourself. Money isn't necessarily about talent. It's about relationships. It's about emotion. It's about values, how you value you. When you value yourself, you start valuing others in their service and really appreciating it and thanking the universe for bringing beautiful people into your life and beautiful things in your life. You actually start appreciating where you're at in your self-development. Really sit down like, wow, no matter what I've been through in my life, I really appreciate where I am at. I appreciate really the things that I have in life. And when you start doing that from your heart, it's a female energy. It's acceptance. People never explained it that way. Appreciation, the reason why it works, because it opens up your heart, that love, the love for you, the love for others. Nothing's more charismatic and attractive than love. It's not about going out and hugging everybody, showing dramatic affection. Your love is inward. It's feminine. You could just stand in your place and be love. Be in that state of being. Love is amazing, but understand that it's that love that brings in that prosperity that you really want. I am starting to read. I've had this for a long time. Tony Robbins, Money, Master the Game. Now, why haven't I read this before? And I've had it for a while. Why is that? Because I wasn't comfortable about addressing money and what it means to me in my life. When you start talking about a subject or start researching a subject, pay attention to what it feels like in your body. Does it spark a little bit of fear, anxiety maybe? Sit with that emotion. Do that right now. Think about money. Think about reading a book about money. Think about picking up maybe a book about investment. Think about that. Just sit with it. Focus on your body. Focus what your body is feeling and where you're feeling it. Is it maybe in your stomach? Maybe it's in your heart chakra. It could be in your throat. It could be in your abdomen. Just sit with it and accept that feeling and start investigating that feeling. And where you feel maybe uncomfortable in any way, investigate it, accept it. Okay, this is just a feeling. It doesn't have to be true. It's just a feeling. Where is that feeling coming from? Why do I have that feeling? And just sit with it. Is it coming from judgment? Is it coming from fear because maybe you don't have or you perceive that you don't have the money right now to invest? Is it coming from the feeling of, I haven't been a good steward in your opinion of money? Is it because I want certain things in my life and right now I just can't open up and purchase that and grab those things because I don't have enough right now? Is it coming from because you were taught the only way to become wealthy and rich is that you must become stingy? You must only save? You must deny yourself the things that you want in this life? That's a limited belief. What if it could be as simple as a possibility that's just a shift in your heart, in the love, and being more open to receive? Maybe it's just a shift of self-development, of becoming a person that people love to be around, becoming a person that you love to be around. Could it be that simple to receive from the universe, to have the flow of money come straight through your heart? Remember, money is an emotion. The stock market is an emotion. It is female energy. It's not something that you chase. That's masculine energy. It's not something that you grasp. You cannot grasp water. You cannot grasp emotions. They're ever flowing. It's a currency. Investigate. Start reading about money. Not to become wealthy, but to become open to the subject, to receive information about money, to just learn about money, to be open to those discussions, to be open to receive. That's what it's all about. And once you understand yourself and come to that level of self-development, money flows into your life. It was never something that you had to go chase or a certain person that you had to be. It was always about our relationships with one another. It was being able to go into a realm, stay in your self-empowerment, and be open to the energy and the emotions, understanding other people's self-development, where they're at in life, their emotions. When these big players are playing the stock market, they say, oh, it's manipulated. It's only manipulated by people's emotions. It's because they know they can see the flow of the public and where their emotions are going. That's all it is. It was never anything very scientific. It was never anything that had to do with the way that you grew up or your skill set. It had everything to do with people's emotions. That's why every brand, every corporation, what do? They market to people's emotions. That's how they make their money. It could be the crappiest product, but as long as they market it well, they're going to make a lot of money. Why? Because they're marketing to emotions. Think about Apple. What does the brand Apple mean to you? Why do you buy Apple products, right? Why do you buy a certain service? Yes, you're getting value out of it, but it's because you understand that value. Having the best products and the best quality makes you feel really good. Why do women dress up in jewelry? Why is that? Do you think it increases our value? Absolutely not. What it does, it makes us feel beautiful. It makes us feel adorned. We adorn ourselves. It's all about feelings, down to nail polish, makeup, having your hair done. And these things are all extremely important. Don't let anybody tell you they're not. How you feel about yourself really is important. Your emotions are important. That's why everybody tells you to get into that emotion of abundance. But how do you do it? There's steps to it. It's part of the self-development process. Take that step today. Start reading a book about money. Start researching about money. But more importantly, start researching about people's emotions. Start researching how the public felt when the markets crash. How did the people feel when the markets were at its peak? What is it that drives you to buy something? It's not that you have to change that, but be aware of it. Because what makes you want to buy something also makes other people want to buy something. It's emotions. Today, spend some time thinking about money, focusing on that inner awareness. What do you feel, and sit with it? Say the Ho'oponopono prayer. If it's uncomfortable feeling, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And just sit and raise that vibration. Heal it. And take the next step and start educating yourself about money. But most importantly, educate yourself about why people want to be in relationships. Why do they want to be in relationship with you? Why do you want to be in relationship with yourself? Let me know any subjects you want me to go into more. Do you want more information on a certain subject? Maybe more information about money, Venus, the heart chakra, being open, the female energy. Maybe it's something completely different. But let me know. I'm happy to cover that in another episode. I'm happy to start expanding these, making them more deep, more profound. Just let me know. Comment, like, subscribe. Have a beautiful and blessed day. And I will see you guys tomorrow.